Mornings feel different now. There's a quietness, not just in my home, but in my heart. Some days it feels like peace, other days it feels like something is missing. But every morning I remind myself, healing isn't about filling empty spaces. It's about learning to hold them with love. So I start slow, a few deep breaths, a moment of stillness. I'm learning that healing is just a series of small choices. Choosing to sit with myself, choosing to listen, choosing to believe that softness and strength can exist at the same time. There are some things that stay the same, like making my bed, like my warm water with lemon and salt. There's something so simple, so ritualistic about these little acts of care. It reminds me that even in the smallest moments, I am worthy of tending to. And then I write my thoughts, feelings, things I'm still untangling. Some pages are heavy, filled with questions I don't have answers to yet. Others feel lighter, even exciting, like little glimpses of hope. Either way, I let it all spill out. It's coconut water, chlorophyll, and just a little bit of sparkling water to top it off. Let's talk about breakups. Oh God, where do we begin? I've been single now for a month. A month today, quite literally. I was in a relationship for a little bit over 7 months. It was fast. What is fast in a relationship though? It's just been a lot to process. I felt like we were pretty close during that 7 months. It was long distance-ish at the beginning. I'm in Seattle and he was in Portland. Then he got a job up here, so he was staying here 4 days a week, sometimes all 7 days a week for the past 4 or 5 months. So at that point, it felt very close and very comfortable. We were planning to get an apartment together. We had already looked at the apartment. Our application was in, all of that. So when we broke up, it's kind of like all of these plans broke up too. I'm the one who caused the breakup. I'm the one who started the fight that led to the breakup. And I have love and sit with myself because I said some not too nice things and really just trying to figure out where that came from. And the best that I can decipher is that I knew that this relationship was not the right thing for me. I went about ending it in the wrong way by kind of picking a fight versus sitting down and having a nice, I don't know about nice, but a kinder chat, and I do deeply regret that. I regret hurting this person. However, I don't regret that the relationship is over. I started going to therapy actually the week after the breakup. That has been really helpful and life-changing. Oh my God. I know that therapy is not the most accessible thing for everybody, but if you have access to a therapist or even a counselor, please go see them and go see them consistently. Therapy has helped me process this so much in healthier ways than I ever could have imagined processing this. Also, please remember I've had some time. Time really does heal everything. Even just that month in between when it happened and now I'm able to sit here and talk about this without getting teary. So if you have just gone through a breakup, it is normal to be sad. The first week I barely was able to get out of this bed, but it does get better. I'm proud of myself because this is the first time that I've had a breakup and actually dealt with it in a healthy way. The old me, the me living in survival mode, would have gone out to the club, gone to the bar, and got super drunk. I would have been on all the apps just a couple days later trying to find somebody else to fill this void instead of really sitting with myself and sitting with these emotions and trying to process it that way. The hardest part for me to get used to was sleeping alone. It is so weird to go from having somebody next to you in your bed for months and months and all of a sudden it's just you. I'm lucky lucky because I have a daughter who is more than happy to come cuddle with me at night. My daughter loves to sleep in the same bed as me, so unbelievably like excited, and that has been super helpful. But there's still weekends and stuff where my daughter's at her dad's, and it's been really weird. I feel like this is the first weekend where I've been okay with just being in my bed alone. Getting on routines helps. I do feel like once I got into a relationship, and this is nobody's fault but mine, this tends to happen to me every time I'm in a relationship, is all of my routines kind of go to the side and I kind of let them go, because I tend to be somebody who, when I really like somebody, I will just kind of adjust my life to fit around them, and a lot of times that means that my routines disappear. It's like the first week that I'm back on my routines too, and it feels really, really good. Even just things like my nighttime skincare. I really like to wake up early, and my previous partner had a different schedule. Still wouldn't wake up at the same time, but I would sleep in a lot longer, and now I'm back to waking up at 6:37, which I know is not super early on the early spectrum. It just feels good to be back doing these things and having these routines that I know always nourished me before. It's been hard for me to process the fact that even though I had the grief in the morning, now I actually feel better being in a relationship that I knew wasn't the right relationship for me. I don't know why that's so hard for me to come to terms with, because it almost feels wrong to feel good and to feel happy. I don't know, because I wanted a relationship for so long. When I was single for a very long time, so it feels weird to now be like, oh, I'm glad to be single again. I'm finally at a place in my life, like, I don't know if it's just my age or my maturity level, but I no longer feel deep constraints of shame around all of my actions. I just remember being younger and going through a breakup, and I wouldn't even want to tell people, even if they broke up with me. Not with this previous situation, nothing like this happened, but I've been in situations in the past where I've been cheated on, and I didn't want anybody to know, because I was so embarrassed and I just carried so much shame around that. And I'm finally at a point in my life where I don't feel like I carry shame in the same way. Like, I can just be real with people and say, yeah, like, I am single. I don't have a partner anymore. We broke up. I don't feel this like dense fog of shame coming over me. I can even say, you know what, like, I shouldn't have done it, but I started the fight that led to it. And I no longer feel so shamed. It's like, that sucks. That really sucks. But I can learn from these mistakes, and I can share these mistakes with other people so that they can not even necessarily learn through me, maybe just relate. Like, if they've been through something similar, it's like, oh, it's not just me. This is kind of a normal human experience. We all mess up and we all make mistakes, and we can only move forward from that. Last time when I was single, I was really big on like staying in your single season, staying in celibacy for a while. I was celibate for almost 2 years. Then I decided I was done and I was going to be sexually liberated, and then I pretty much immediately got in a relationship. I don't think I'm going to go celibate this time. I'm also not in a phase where I'm like rushing to have sex, but it shouldn't be funny to say that. Why has society made it so awkward to just candidly talk about sex? I don't need to experience a whole bunch of partners, I guess is what I'm saying, but at the same time, I'm not gonna close myself off to that. If something feels right, I'm just gonna lean into that, but I'm not gonna get so attached to, oh my god, I slept with this person, we have to get in a relationship, we have to be XYZ, to where I push something that isn't right. I'm really just ready to be a little bit more free. I'm ready to date. I'm not sure if I feel like dating men or women right now. I don't know. But I do feel like dating. I was reading, I guess rereading, because I read this in high school, but rereading one of Eckhart Tolle's books, The Power of Now, and I just remember this part that stuck with me. This is not verbatim because I don't have the book in front of me, but he essentially said something about, you learn a lot more by having a bunch of relationships that fail. So say you have like 3 or 4 failed relationships and you meet the love of your life, or maybe you don't. Maybe you want to be alone forever too, or maybe you have multiple loves. I think all of that is okay, but you learn a lot more by being in these relationships than you do by not engaging in relationships. So being like, I'm just gonna work on me. And while I do think there is importance in working on yourself and going inward, I am still a huge advocate for celibacy if it is right for you. If you all want a video, I can talk a little bit more about my celibacy journey, because I did it twice, and the first time I did it, it was for the wrong reasons and it was not empowering, but the second time I did it, it was extremely empowering, and I was able to draw on my energy energy back to me. I'm not looking to go back into celibacy at this time. I want to date people. I want to experience people. I want to make out with people. It's about to be summer. It's still spring, but it's about to be summer, and I want to have fun, and I want to love, and I want to give so fully. When I date people now, I'm no longer holding anything back. In the past, I always held back because I was afraid of being too vulnerable or getting hurt or coming on too strong. I'm not holding back. If I want to make somebody cookies after a couple dates or confess my feelings for them and how I'm falling, I'm just going to do it. I'm not going to pretend that that's not there because I'm trying to play cool. I'm done with that type of stuff. Like, I am just gonna be me and approach everything with my full open heart on display. Even if I'm risking like heartbreak and getting hurt, I'm not holding back anymore. Life is way too short. I just want to love. We are put on earth to love. I have been doing the self-love journey, y'all, for years. Single and celibate for years. This is a summer of free love. Unless I would not be shocked if I ended up in another relationship. I want to embrace all that this world can offer. Breaking up with somebody is a huge transformation, and I want to fully embrace the transformation. I don't want to sit at home sad anymore. I'm over it. I've done that. And I'm just ready to get out in the world and embrace everything that I have learned through this breakup. That's it. That's the rant. I also want to point out, right when I stopped recording, I looked at the clock and it was 3:33. Is it still 3:33? It's still 3:33.